this and want to know about minor league stuff because I have a buddy of mine. You might even have heard of him, Jorge Guzman. Have you ever heard of Jorge?
I've heard the name, yes.
So he was the guy that the Marlins got when they sent up Giancarlo Stanton and a couple of other guys, and he was throwing 100 miles an hour. He played for a couple of years with the Marlins, and then he signed with the Giants, and they released him in the middle of last year. I know he had elbow surgery and all that kind of stuff, but I'll tell you, minor league baseball, you go through a lot of kids, a lot of it's heartbreaking because I think right now I don't know what he's going to do, and I thought for sure he was going to be a big leaguer. So I will talk to you now about being a minor league coach because you've got to have some magic there to you got to be a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and have a tremendous knowledge of the game that you definitely have. So fill in what I don't know about being, a quality pitching coach for a great organization.
Well, when I started, obviously all the technology that's in it now wasn't part of it. So it was basically going off experience uh, and actually feeding off of guys that you played with. Um, and it was more my eye sees this, that you're doing something wrong or that you're doing something right. And then you get a feel for, like I said, all right, what's his arm doing? Let's try this, let's try that. I think the first thing is you got to try to build a relationship with the kids where they can trust you, and probably more so they trust you than you trust them, because you're trying to drive a point across, trying to um, make changes to somebody who's young and has had success doing something one way, and you kind of have to get in their heads that yes, it was great in high school, college, it was all the same, but it unless you got those super top elite guys, uh, there usually are changes that need to be made, and it's all not just to get through A ball and double A ball and triple A ball. It's something what we look at as this is what you're going to need to do or sustain to be in the big leagues and stay in the big leagues, not just kind of bounce up and down. And then with all the technology, yeah, for the old guys, it was a little bit harder than the younger guys to go, okay, I'm seeing all these dots and lines and graphs and numbers, and all right, what are we doing with this stuff? So you had to kind of dig into that too, because like you said, uh, a lot of times the question of why is brought up. Why do you want me to do this? Why do they want me to do this? Why is this better than, so you have to have something to, fall back on and show them. And sometimes you might just say, you know what, I don't know why. And it's as simple as that. But it's been fun. Like I said, you build these relationships with these kids. And I know, like, for me, being with the Diamondbacks, this will be my 15th year coming up.
Wow.
Going through, and then the last 2 years have been in AAA. And then I had some of the kids in AA too, where now all of a sudden you're working with them year after year, and now all of a sudden they get to call up and you're watching them on TV. And, sometimes they do come back down, but it's still I'm not gonna say satisfaction, but it's a thrill to go, man, I've been with this guy for a few years and now I can watch him on TV. And I think that's the big part for coaches.